Where are you right now, Miles? It's a bit past the time we planned on going out for dinner now, right?
I don't really feel like going out now, so you can go ahead and eat by yourself tonight.
What? What do you mean you don't feel like going out to eat now? This is the day of our wedding anniversary, is it not?
Right. What is it, our 5th year now being married to one another? Well, I'm glad we could make it to 5 years together, but you can now start calling it the anniversary of our divorce. Zoe, today you and I are getting a divorce.
Huh? What are you talking about? A divorce? Why would you bring something like that up on a day like today?
I'm sure you understand the reason why, right? You haven't been able to bear a child for me all this time, and I've started to think of you as a defective product.
What?
It's been 5 years already, and you have not once gotten pregnant yet with a child for me. So that's why today I'm getting away from you. I can't keep looking at my parents' disappointed faces any longer as they continue to hope for a grandchild.
Wait a minute. That's not a good enough excuse for a divorce, Miles.
Oh, I think it's a very good excuse, actually. And even my parents are both saying that I have no use for you as my wife anymore. My parents have actually been wishing for the both of us to get a divorce for a long time now.
What did you say?
They are always going on and on about how they want me to get rid of you and marry a much younger and more healthy girl. You have to understand that at some point, I need to follow through with what they're wanting from me.
Well, if you all want me to have a baby so badly, then you need to start working with me on having one. I'm in the same boat as all of you, wanting a baby. And that's why I've been asking for us to go to a maternity clinic and see what the problem is. Yet you always tell me not to go and talk to them about any of it, nor will you go there yourself.
You think that kind of place is meant for men? And if someone were to see you going to a clinic like that due to not being able to have a baby, then I'd become the laughingstock of this whole city. They will tease me for marrying some kind of defective woman.
Nobody is going to talk about you that way or laugh at you.
You and I are getting a divorce. Then I'm going to find myself a young woman to carry my children. I'll be able to marry her, and that night after doing the dirty, she'll be pregnant with my kid, and I'll never have to be embarrassed around my parents again.
I'm so sorry, Zoe. I've done something terrible on the day of my wedding to you, and I so badly regret it. What? Did you forget to save me a seat or something, even though I RSVP'd and everything? Of course I made sure to have a seat ready for you. You're one of my closest friends. The problem here is that there's someone at my wedding that I didn't want to be here. What? Actually, about my wedding today. Well, it looks like your ex-husband is going to be coming here as well. What? You're talking about Miles, right? Maybe he's friends with the groom or something like that? Actually, it's a lot worse and crazier than that. It turns out that the boss of my fiancé is Miles's mother. What? And, well, I was totally fine with her coming to the wedding to see one of her employees get married and all, but I started to wonder why she wanted her son to come here as well. When she said who he is, I freaked out just a little. Huh? I want to know why your fiancé's boss thinks she needs to be having her son come to your guys' wedding. From what it looks like, you and your fiancé aren't even friends with him or anything, right? From what she was saying to my fiancé, she wants her son to be here so he can look for a partner he can get married to. What? To look for a new partner to marry? From what it looks like, he still hasn't gotten married after your guys' divorce. And so his mom has taken it upon herself to help him look for a new woman to get married to. She's even been trying to get a younger woman at the company to go out with Miles, sometimes even forcing them to. She thinks that just because she's their superior, she can do things as messed up as that. You're kidding, right? So she thinks that since he hasn't been able to find someone so far, the next step is having him come to one of her subordinates' weddings? Using someone else's wedding like it was a matchmaking party is crazy. Does she not realize that what she's doing right now is unthinkable? I don't think she does, or perhaps she just doesn't care. But my fiancé's told me that he can't say no to her because she's his boss. So because of that, it's looking like Miles is on his way here now. No way. I'm sure that you don't want to stay away from coming to my wedding, but you also don't want to see your ex here, right? It's not too late to have me tell everyone that you're feeling sick and let you stay home, you know. I am not going to stay away from the wedding of one of my best friends, no matter who's there. Thank you for worrying about me, though. You're really going to come still? Are you sure? You don't have to force yourself to. I told you I'll be fine, so you don't have to worry at all. It's been 3 years now since the divorce, so I'll be all right now. And I'm pretty sure for him, he doesn't care about me being at the same event as he is. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
I never thought I'd be running into you again at a place like this. This really is a small world.
I feel the same way. I'd always planned on never seeing you, of all people, again in my life. But I guess not all plans go as people wish.
Exactly. I never planned on seeing you again either, especially now that you're such a fatty. 3 years has really done a number on you, girl, hasn't it?
Huh?
You were so sensitive about your body back when you were married to me, right? What happened? Did me throwing you away like that cause you to get that big? I guess that was the end of your romance life then, huh? Nobody's going to want to go out with some fatty your age.
You're being too kind, Miles. Especially when it should be you who's worried about finding a new partner to continue your romance life. From what I've heard, you still haven't gotten married after leaving me. And not just that you haven't gotten married again, but that you're working so hard trying to find yourself someone that'll take you.
Huh? You think I'm working that hard right now?
Well, you've had to use your own mom's position in order to get yourself a woman that'll go on dates with you. But even then, these women end up realizing just how awful you are and run far away from you. So now you're resorting to coming to your mom's subordinate's wedding in order to take a chance at finding someone? If this isn't you trying really hard to find someone, then what would you call it,
You shut up! I am going to find myself a woman to bear me a child, all right? And because of my desire for the perfect woman, I've been going on date after date, trying to hit every place I can in order to find me the one.
You made it seem like after the divorce you'd have yourself a young and healthy woman in no time. But it's been 3 years now and you still haven't been able to reel one of those women in. Seems like your plans for success have been a lot tougher than even you could imagine back then.
What is with you acting like that right now? You're really trying hard to make fun of me when you're the fat pig between the two of us. You became such a fatty right after losing me because you're a defective woman. I don't get why you think you can talk to me with that attitude when you're the one who's the size of my car and can't even do your natural job as a female and make a baby.
What?
Go ahead and keep talking like I'll never have a chance of getting married again. Because even you know deep down, your chances are long gone, and your bloodline is going to end with your fat butt. The only reason I'm working so hard is in order to make the perfect baby for my parents to see. What's wrong with me being so generous to them by wanting to do that?
I never said there was anything wrong with it. I was just thinking things have gotten pretty tough for you now after 3 years. I mean, you're having to come to a wedding that your mom was invited to, all because you still haven't gotten remarried and had any kids yet. If I were in your mom's shoes, I would have never done something as embarrassing to my son as that.
I know all kinds of people who go to weddings looking for a new partner. And because of what my mom did for me today, I have found the one. I may have had to run into a pig, but I was able to find the best fit possible to marry me.
What? You found yourself a good one.
That's right. Just a bit ago, I changed numbers with a girl who is 23 years old and is ready for me. She was very close to me the moment I started talking to her, and I'm sure within no time she's going to be all over me. Then all I'm going to have to do is ask her the question, and from there I can put a baby in her. I'm sorry that your fat butt is going to get left behind, but I need to move on with this new girl.
23 years old, huh? That's a pretty young woman for even you to be getting married to.
She's going to be the one for me, because someone that young is so fertile that just laying in bed with her will get her pregnant. Also, she happens to be a real heart stopper, so she is just perfect as my wife.
You're in your 40s now, and you think she's the perfect one for you? To be honest, she might actually stop your heart, literally, because of the age you are.
I'm gonna make sure she's mine for good, and that I have those kids my parents are wanting. Man, I'm so sorry, Zoe. I'm going to be the first between us to start a new life, making a happy family with such a young woman. Oh, but this was bound to happen. I mean, look at you. After 3 years, you turned into a fatty, and I turned into a real man who can pull any girl in.
Excuse me?
Just take a look at yourself in the mirror, for Christ's sakes. Not only are you the size of a small moon, but your skin looks like the surface of one too. Unlike me, who's going to get married to a 23-year-old hottie, you're going to live the rest of your life as a fat and lonely loser.
The only reason I have a belly as big as this is due to my baby.
What?
I just chose to stay quiet about it so that you could have your fun calling me fat and ugly. I can understand being so happy after finding a girl almost half your age to exchange numbers with, but I'm not so sure you'll even have a chance of going on a date with her. Women aren't into men who call other women fatty and pigs. And they for sure don't like men who can't notice the most basic of things like my last name changing. I really don't think things will make it very far with that young girl.
Wait. What? What do you mean by that? Your last name, it changed? And you're pregnant? Are you trying to tell me that you got remarried quicker than me?
The year after you and I got divorced, I got married to a new man. I actually ran into him by accident, but it became the best accident I've ever had. Soon after we first met, we then got married. And before I knew it, I'm 9 months pregnant and running into my ex at a wedding.
Huh? What do you mean you got remarried before me? This is a joke, right? And you're pregnant now? That gut of yours looks more like fat to me than a baby.
That's not fat at all, rather a baby that my husband and I are going to love very much.
That's a lie. Why were you able to get pregnant? You were supposed to be the defective woman I left who couldn't get pregnant, even after 5 years of trying. That's why I left you, and for the past 3 years I've been looking for a perfect partner.
Right after I got married again, my husband and I went to the maternity clinic to talk with a doctor there. My husband wasn't even embarrassed by any of it at all, because he wanted to make sure we did everything we could to get me pregnant. But once we went there and both got tested, the doctor told me there was nothing wrong with myself or my husband. And the very next day, after a long nightly session together, I was pregnant. The only thing my doctor told me might have been the problem was stress when I was married to you. Or the obvious one being that I was never the infertile one. On my way out, I was given one last talk by my doctor telling me to make sure I took good care of myself when trying for a baby and to eat well when pregnant. It was funny though, because the next day after seeing I was pregnant, I called that doctor back and both my husband and I thanked him so much.
There's no way. We tried for 5 years and got nowhere. You're telling me that after going to the clinic, you learned that all you needed to do was get into bed with him and that did it?
Well, the doctor said there was nothing wrong with us, and that's probably why it was so easy to make a baby. It could also just be luck being on my side at the time, but who knows? I'm sure had you just listened to me back then about going to the clinic, we could have figured something out and had a baby together.
No way.
I'm sorry about that. I guess I'm the one who was able to get a head start and have the happy little family you were bragging so much about just then. But this was all bound to happen, right? You were the one that blamed me for everything, like your parents, and forced me away with a divorce. When all you really had to do was go with me to see a doctor and learn what the problem was between us.
Are you trying to say this is my fault? You're saying I'm to blame for you never getting pregnant?
Well, all I need from you was to go to the clinic with me and take some tests, but you were the one who said no to both of us going.
I'm not playing around anymore. Don't think you can start blaming me just because you got remarried and pregnant with a baby a bit sooner than me. I'm going to get married before you can even have that baby. And unlike your husband, I'm going to get myself a 23-year-old hottie to have a baby with.
You haven't been having any luck for the past 3 years, but you think now you'll be able to get married? You both haven't even gone on a date yet. All you did was get her number.
Well, her and I will be dating really soon here, so who cares about that? I heard that those younger girls love older men like me and will 100% get pregnant when we start. She's already thinking of me right now, I'm sure. And before long, we'll be married and having that baby.
You sure?
I'm sure you didn't have a chance to see it at that time, but her and I are dying to sleep together. I'll make sure to show you just how much she loves me and wants me in a couple of days. You'll see that she wants to get married to me this month and carry my child, who will turn out way better than the one you're carrying.
I really think you've taken what's happened today a bit too far in your head. Did you ever realize that the young girl you got that number from today happens to be the CEO of the company your mom works for?
What?
I heard about this from my friend's fiancé. He told me it wasn't just your mom he invited today, but his CEO as well. And it turns out that the CEO's daughter wanted to come as well to his wedding, so he said it was fine for her to come as well.
What? Today, the groom's CEO daughter came here to see the wedding as well?
Apparently, she's been friends with him since she was in college, so he had planned to invite her anyway, but decided to just have the CEO take care of bringing her along. The groom actually helped coach one of the teams she was on there, so it's more like a coach-to-player relationship. But now I'm having to learn that you were the one that ended up exchanging numbers with her at the wedding. I guess things have only gotten even more crazy when it comes to you, Miles.
What the hell is going on here? There's nothing wrong with any of this. She wanted to exchange numbers with me because young girls like her love older guys. Also, when I had given her my number as well, she didn't seem to be upset with anything. She actually seemed very happy to give me her number and get mine.
She might have just been putting on a face at the time as to not cause any drama.
What did you say?
Go ahead and ask your mom whether she was really happy to be giving you her number, all right? I just saw the CEO call for her to go to a separate room with him a second ago.
What?
I wonder what he could be talking about with her in there. You probably have something to do with all of it, so go over there and have a look yourself.
What should I do, Zoe? My mom is going to be fired, I think. And it's all my fault.
Oh my. I noticed that right after you went to go see your mom, you both left the wedding before it had even come close to finishing. I guess she was being talked to by the CEO about being fired then.
I had asked her for her number thinking that things between her and I were amazing. And I even texted her right after getting dinner the next day together. But it turned out she didn't even want to give me her number and felt pressured to do so. What the hell is all this? Why did she tattle about it to her father like that?
What are you going on about? I think what's going on here was bound to happen with you. But wow, now your mom is getting fired over it? I guess the CEO really loves his daughter a lot to be going through with something like that.
That's not the only reason she's going to be getting fired. The CEO also learned about how my mom would have all the younger women at work go on dates with me. And that's one other real reason why she's going to be getting fired. My mom was just trying to help me out by finding me women who she thought would bear me a child and marry me. But the CEO thinks she was abusing her power in that company to do all that. She shouldn't be fired for that.
Well, I think she should be after all that. I don't think the CEO took your mom forcing young employees of his to go out with you just because she's their boss very lightly.
What? You're not going to feel bad for me about what's happening right now?
Excuse me?
I just lost the one chance I had at getting a wife, Zoe. And not just lost it, but also lost my mom her job due to it as well. You're not gonna come and comfort me after all that just happened?
What the hell is wrong with you? Why would I ever come comfort you or be on your side when you're my ex-husband? Ugh, goodbye now, you freak.
Hey, wait! You're being cruel by leaving me. You think it's totally fine for you to be the only person between us to get married and have kids? Are you trying to tell me that you have no more feelings for your ex-husband anymore?
Yeah, I don't care for you at all.
What the frick? You and I were married for 5 years, and you're going to say something like that to me? Whose fault do you think all this was? You take responsibility for all this right now and give me a baby! I'm gonna get back together with you. You seem to be able to make kids now, so that won't be a problem for me. You get married to me again right now and let me impregnate you.
So is this what happens when a 5-year-old doesn't get what they wanted for Christmas? If so, then I'm going to need to make sure to raise my baby right because your mom sure as hell did not. I happen to already have a husband and I'm carrying his child.
Go and throw that man aside. And since that baby in you isn't mine, I want you to get it aborted. Go do that right now, and when you get back from the hospital, you let me sleep with you.
What the hell?
This has all been your fault. Letting me get divorced from you that easily 3 years ago. You forced me to have to go out looking for a partner with no help from anyone besides my mom, while you go to live the easy life. All because of you, I've had to waste 3 years of my frickin' life. And now my mom is losing her job because of you. You take responsibility for all of that, and let me screw you.
The only creature to blame is the one who is infertile and did nothing about it, and then threw his wife out thinking she was the problem. Stop trying to blame me for all your mistakes and then saying such heinous things, you disgusting pile of fermented roadkill. I hope you go to hell and have nobody around you when you die. Actually, I hope it happens soon because it would benefit this world not having a monster like you in it.
What was that?
I'm glad you can't find another woman to marry you. You don't deserve to have a baby, and that's why you're the infertile one, you prick. And even if you were able to have one, I'm sure the woman who birthed them would divorce you soon after and take the baby with them. I feel bad for anything that would ever be considered your family.
What? You don't have the right to say things like that to me.
I'm only saying things like this to you now because I'm your ex-wife and I hate you. You always seem to think you could just blame anyone else but yourself for your problems. And now you want me to get an abortion because you think you can guilt me into letting you screw me and carry your child? You're not going to become a husband or a father thinking such absurd things as that. You being infertile and alone forever is this world's gift to the rest of us living on it.
Then what about what my parents and I want? I want to give my parents a baby that they can both feel happy about.
Buy a baby doll and show them that. Give it to them and say it's the only grandbaby you can make.
Excuse me?
Now, I've had enough of this BS. I'm going to erase any memory of you off the surface of my brain and live a lovely life with my family. So don't you ever come into my happy world again and just go screw yourself. What I had heard after that day from my friend who had just had her wedding is that Miles's mom ended up getting fired, and her husband ended up taking her place within the company. Then, after the crazy old boss was out of the company for good, the environment within the workplace improved, and that next quarter the company was making a lot more profit than previous years. When it comes to Miles and his mom, they ended up moving to a new town and getting an apartment there closer to where his mom would be working her next job. But she wasn't quite finished with her crap and would continue to ask both coworkers and customers at work if they wanted to marry her son. This then led her to lose her job soon after, and she'd be forced to start her cycle all over again with yet another job. For Miles himself, he would continue to try asking out different women, hoping to find someone who would marry him, but soon he realized that the only way he could win anyone over was with money. This led him to start borrowing tons from the bank to fake that he was well off, which is only going to lead him down a hole which will get him closer to hell for sure.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.
I thought that Jason only had eyes for me. I never in a million years thought that he would be stolen away from me by someone who I thought was my friend. Portia, what on earth are you talking about right now? And don't you try and play dumb with me. I know it was you, you terrible, awful woman. This is all your fault. You're the one that stole my man away from me, and I hate you for it. Portia, I literally have no idea at all what you're talking about right now. You're just being ridiculous. How can you say that when Jason said that he was going to be marrying you? I thought that him and I were going to end up married. How did this happen? How can he just leave me like this? You know what he did? He showed up at my work all of a sudden and he told me that he found someone else and that he was going to marry this other girl. And I know for a fact that you are that other girl, aren't you, Tammy? Portia, please, you really need to calm down. I'm trying to tell you that I have no idea what you're talking about. But I know for a fact that I certainly didn't steal your fiancé. I mean, you do know that I'm going to be married to my own fiancé, don't you? But you really just mean that you're going to be marrying Jason and not me, right? Do you really think you're going to fool me right now? I know that it was you who Jason left me to be with. I am telling you that I don't know who it is, but it isn't me. Please, can't we just calm down and try to talk about this rationally? I mean, I didn't even know that you were engaged to begin with. This is the first time that I'm hearing about this at all. Well, of course you hadn't heard of this. That's because I was hiding my relationship with him from everyone. I knew that he was too handsome and that if people found out that we were together, that there would be trouble. Wow, is this Jason guy really that good looking? He might as well be a model. Not only that, but he's also really smart. Basically, he's the whole package all in one. So I knew that if I were ever to introduce him to my friends, that they would get jealous and try to steal him from me. That's why I made sure that nobody knew that we were dating at all. So I want to know just how you found out, huh? But I didn't even find out. For the last time, I had no idea that you were even engaged. But I do feel really sorry for you that you were, and for some reason he felt like it was appropriate to leave you like that. But at the end of the day, that is business between you and him, and I really don't think I should be a part of it. And since I don't even know what he looks like, I don't understand how I could have plotted to steal him from you. Do you really expect me to believe that? I'm sure that you were always keeping an eye on me, just waiting to see what kind of man I'd get with so that you could steal him from me. And here I thought that you actually wanted to be my friend, but now you're running around town with my fiancé. Portia, are you even reading any of what I'm trying to tell you right now? I mean, I had no idea that you and my Jason worked at the same place, but now I see that you were just using your job to get close to him. Well, just know that I am never ever going to forgive you for what you've done to me. Hold on a second, you mean Jason from sales is your fiancé? Does that mean that you're telling me you're engaged to Jason Miller? That's right, or I guess I was engaged to him, but now you've gone and stolen him from me. I thought that he and I were going to have a future together. Well, I guess I do see why you would want to hide a guy like Jason from others. He's tall, handsome, funny, and he really is a smart guy too. I think he's a really popular guy just around the office. You see, I was right. You finally come out and admit it. I know that it was you. You ruined our perfect relationship. You know, he and I never even got in a fight. I guess I was wrong for thinking that I could ever count on you as a friend. Portia, you are completely taking what I'm saying out of context. I had no idea that I was working at the same place as your fiancé. But I really want you to know that I had no intentions with Jason at all. I mean, I'm literally engaged myself. You don't know what you're talking about at all. You're not the one who was left by your fiancé for another woman. I just can't believe that it happened so suddenly. I just don't even know what to think. It isn't fair. But the worst part is how you're still lying to me about this when I saw you two having lunch together on a date with my own eyes. You two looked like you were just having so much fun talking with each other, you know that? Are you sure that we weren't just having lunch together, like two normal people might? I mean, our departments are working on a project together, so we do see each other around the office quite a bit. And I don't really think it's all that weird that we would be eating lunch together. I can't believe that you're really going to stick with this lie, even though I caught you red-handed. You're really going to just double down and keep trying to trick me? Why even bother trying to trick me when I know the truth? You know that you aren't going to fool me, right? I know that it's you. I never ever should have trusted you. I should have known that you were trouble from the very start. Please, Portia, why don't you trust what I'm trying to tell you? Why don't I trust you? How about because I thought that you were my friend and now you've gone and betrayed me? I am never ever going to forget this, or you. Just know that from here on out, you're on my list. And I am not going to let you get away with this plot to marry my fiancé. Hey, Jason, are you there? I'm really sorry to be bothering you on your day off. And I'm even more sorry, but do you think that I could ask you a kind of private question?
Oh, hey Tommy, how's it going? Yeah, I guess you can ask me about my private life, if that's what you mean.
Great, because the thing is that I heard you were engaged to be married, but I also heard that you've recently changed your fiancé?
Oh, wait, what? Sorry, I'm not following you. What exactly do you mean that I've changed my fiancé?
I just mean that you were engaged to marry one woman, but then you broke up with her and now you're engaged to marry someone else?
Tommy, I'm really sorry, but I've got no idea what you're talking about. Besides, I'm not the kind of guy to be bouncing around from fiancé to fiancé like that. The woman I'm engaged to right now is the same girlfriend that I've had since I was in college.
I see. Well, that's really good to hear. To be honest, I knew there was no way that you would do something like that.
Well, I'm glad you weren't actually accusing me of doing that, but then why did you even ask about it in the first place? Because this is a really weird topic for you to be bringing up to me, if I'm being honest. I thought we had more trust in each other after all the work we've been doing together.
You're right. I'm sorry, Jason. It isn't that I don't trust you or anything like that. The truth is that I actually was getting some strange messages from an old friend who was claiming to be dating you.
You talked to someone who said that we were dating?
Well, she said that you two were going out, but that you dumped her suddenly, and this is after you two were supposed to have gotten engaged. Anyways, this friend was telling me all about it because she was accusing me of stealing you away from her. This friend of mine thinks that you left her for me and that now you and I are going to get married.
Hold on a second, are you serious about that? That's crazy. Who's this friend? How long have you known her?
Well, it's this woman named Portia, and we've actually known each other since we were both in middle school.
Wait a sec, you know Portia? Tommy, I don't know what to tell you, but Portia and I were never together. In fact, she's more like a stalker to me than anything else. She's actually been responsible for so many problems in my life.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that Portia has been stalking you?
That's exactly what I'm saying. There's this cafe that I really like going to, and Portia is actually a barista there. I would always go to this cafe and her and I would exchange a few words now and then. But I guess she was falling in love with me that whole time. And even though I had no idea this was happening, in her head we must have started going out with each other.
Are you serious? That's just crazy.
Well, it happens more often than you think. I mean, I'm not blind. I know that a lot of people around the office think I'm handsome and stuff. And this isn't the first time I've been liked by someone without really liking them back. This is the first time that someone's ever taken it this far with me. And now things have just gotten so bad that I just don't know how to respond.
But then how in the world did Portia manage to think that you and her were dating?
That's what I want to know, because I've only ever tried to be polite to her, but I was never flirting with her. And we certainly never said a word to each other about our love lives or anything like that. But I guess she just had it in her head that we were dating. Even so, I still have no clue about where the talk of marriage is coming from.
Jason, I am so sorry that she's been giving you so much trouble. I really had no idea that any of this was going on.
Well, it has been, and it's honestly been driving me crazy, but the fact of the matter is I'm already engaged. At this point, I don't want anything to do with Portia at all. I've even been avoiding going to that cafe.
I see, but she seems to think that I've stolen you away from her. She told me that you showed up to the cafe one day and told her that you were engaged to marry someone else. And for some reason, she seemed to think it was me.
That's true. I did go in there one day just to try and make things clear with her, but I guess she took it the complete wrong way.
I really am so sorry you've been having to deal with all of this, but Portia's kind of been like this ever since we were both young. She would always fall head over heels for some boy and announce that they were dating when they hadn't hardly even talked.
Well, it sounds to me like that little habit of hers has only gotten worse over the years then. How did those boys you went to school with handle her? Because I guess Portia still seems to think that we're together.
Well, a lot of what they did was just ignore her and try to avoid her. Basically, their plan would be to wait until she found someone new to obsess over.
I see. So basically you think it might be possible to just wait this out and see if she loses interest in me? I guess I can try and that. See if it works.
Sure thing, and I guess I can try to talk to her about this again and see if I can't convince her about my intentions. I really can't believe that you're doing this to me, you know that? I can't believe that not only did you steal my fiancé away from me, but that now you two are actually going to be getting married. But just know that I am not going to let you get away with this. I am going to ruin your marriage. And then you both will know the cost of doing what you did to me. Portia, I was wondering when I was going to hear from you again. I tried reaching out to you after you first started messaging me about this, but you never responded to my messages. But what I wanted to tell you was that you and Jason are not and have never been dating. What are you talking about? How dare you say something like that to me? No, it's true. I talked to Jason all about this. He told me that he was nothing but a regular customer at the cafe where you work. I guess he was nice to you in your interactions, and that's why you thought he was flirting with you. But you took things way too far when you thought that it meant the two of you were dating, to say nothing about being engaged. This proves that you have no idea what you're talking about. Of course the two of us are dating. How dare you come to me with this drivel? Did you think this was going to work? Or do you just not care at all about what you say anymore since you two are about to get married today? Get married today? What are you talking about this time, Portia? Oh, please, don't try and fool me. I already told you that I wasn't going to let you get away with getting married. That's why I'm going to show up to your wedding in my own wedding dress and completely steal the show from you. Then I am going to steal back my man in front of your very eyes, and we are going to use what was supposed to be your wedding as our own. And then everyone there is going to know all about how you tried to steal my fiancé away from me. Now, hold on just 1 second. Are you telling me that you're at Jason's wedding right now? Of course I am, although I don't know why you said Jason's when it's both of yours. Portia, I am being really serious right now. You have got to get out of there. Something really bad could happen if you interrupt their wedding dressed like that. You really think that you can scare me off like that? It isn't going to work. I can't believe that you think you can boss me around after what you've done to me. You're a terrible friend, and I have no reason to listen to you. The only reason I'm here today is all just to steal Jason back from you. This is how I get my revenge on a fake friend like you. You are really taking this whole thing way too far, Portia. Sounds to me like you're finally starting to get how serious I am about this. Too bad it's way too late for you now. Well, if you must know, I had my wedding yesterday. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? I mean that if you were hoping to ruin my wedding, you're too late. I got married yesterday. What in the world are you talking about? I know for a fact that you're getting married today. I heard all about it. I know that you and Jason are going to be getting married today. I see what's going on here now. Jason is getting married today to his fiancée. I got married to my husband now yesterday. Get it? But wait, I don't understand. So you're telling me that you and Jason broke up then? Portia, for the millionth time, Jason and I are not and never were dating each other. I'm just his coworker, and that is it. I talked to Jason about this, and he told me he's with the same girl he's been with since college, and that's the woman that he's marrying today. But That can't be right. I mean, I saw you two having lunch together and laughing and smiling. How can you try and tell me that you're just coworkers? Because that's all we are, and we got along well together. Do you really not ever enjoy talking with your coworkers? Besides, I remember the day you must be talking about, and the reason we were so happy is because we were both talking about our wedding plans. You mean that's what was going on? That's right. We were laughing because I was going for a really small wedding and Jason said he was trying to go all out for his. So then, you're telling me that I've got this whole thing wrong? You two were never dating in the first place? That is what I've been trying to tell you this whole time, Portia. It was all in your head. But that's not it. That also meant that Jason and I were never really a thing. I thought that he really loved me. And just what made you think that in the first place? Well, he would always come in whenever I was working there, and he would always tell me thanks for the coffee. But why would he be coming to my cafe if he didn't love me? So you mean that he never even said once that he loved you or anything like that? I already knew what was going on just by the energy he was giving out. It was written all over his face. You really think that? Of course. And there was this time I gave him a cookie for free. He looked so happy, and then when he got up to leave, he said it was great and thanked me for it. But I was the one that baked those cookies in the morning, so that means he likes my cooking. What do you call that then, huh? That was when I figured we were engaged. It was his way of asking me to cook for him forever. Wow. I just don't even know what to say about that. The sheer mental gymnastics required to go from a cookie to engagement, it's almost impressive. But I guess that means that I was wrong about you. Now I realize it was another girl he was with this whole time, which is why I'm still going to go through with my plan. You mean that you're really going to try and sabotage Jason's wedding? I really don't think you should do that. You're really going to regret it if you do. Tammy, what the heck? Did you know that Jason's parents owned their own real estate company? I had no idea that his parents were that rich. Wait a second, you mean you didn't even know that about your so-called fiancé? And to think you thought you two were engaged. But you don't understand. When I tried to barge into his wedding, I was basically caught right away by the security there. They took me to a changing room and then Jason showed up and he looked really upset. But then even my boss from work showed up. Wow, you mean that Jason was so upset about how you'd been acting that he even brought your boss in to talk to you? No, it's not that at all. My boss was actually invited to Jason's wedding. I guess he knows Jason's parents or something through their business. But when they heard about what I tried to do, they said that they couldn't do business with my boss anymore. So then my boss begged them for forgiveness and told them he had no idea one of his employees was doing this. He begged them to let him keep his store. But Jason's parents refused, so now my boss is trying to sue me for damages to his store. You have to help me. What are you talking about? Of course I'm not going to help you. Especially not after you tried to ruin one of the most important days of Jason's life. You're a horrible, selfish, delusional woman. We tried to warn you over and over again, but you refused to acknowledge the reality around you. But it isn't fair. I really did think that we were together. It wasn't supposed to go like this. I hope your boss does sue you, and I hope he takes you for all you've got. Your delusions have cost people enough already. After that, I heard that Portia's old boss was able to sue her for $50,000 for damages to his business and reputation. Portia was left penniless and even had to go into debt to pay it all back. After seeing how truly upset he was by Portia's behavior, Jason's parents realized their mistake and agreed to lease him his cafe space after all. Needless to say, Portia was not welcome back there. With no job and no one in her corner, Portia ran back to live with her parents. But they were both so disappointed in her and told her they were disinheriting her. I heard that she moved back to the city and is working multiple jobs trying to pay down her debt, but as far as I'm concerned, she's no longer my problem and that's all I really care about.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey Hey there, Taylor. I wanted to ask you about my wedding dress. Have you given it any more thought? Which one do you think looks the best on me?
Huh? Dress? What do you mean?
Very funny, Taylor. You know what I'm talking about. We just went to try on wedding dresses the other day. Don't tell me you forgot. We're gonna have our meeting with the wedding planner tomorrow, so we need to have a dress picked out by then. I was taking a look at the pictures from that day and wanted to hear what you thought before I made my final choice. So, what do you think?
Oh, we have to make a choice now, huh? I thought we had more time.
No, we don't. Our wedding is next month. I was thinking about going with the more traditional looking one. The others look a bit too gaudy for me. Oh, but then again, you were saying you liked the mermaid one, right? Now that I think about it, I did look pretty cute in that one. What do you think, Taylor? Which dress do you want to see me walking down the aisle in?
I don't know. Whatever one you want is fine. I don't really care. I'm not all that interested in how you look in your wedding dress anyway.
Taylor, why are you being so negative about our wedding?
Look, I know you're super excited about everything. I get it. Women always get excited about their wedding, but could you go to that meeting with the planner tomorrow by yourself?
Taylor, what's gotten into you? I don't understand. First you tell me you aren't interested in my dress, and now you tell me I have to go meet with the planner by myself? Is something wrong, Taylor? Did I say something to hurt you? You've never talked to me like this before.
Good grief, do I have to spell it out for you, Alice? I'm telling you, I don't want to get married to you. So like I said, go to the meeting with the wedding planner tomorrow by yourself. Tell them that the wedding is off, unless you want to have a wedding party for just yourself, in which case go right ahead, but I'm not paying for anything.
The wedding is off? I'm so confused. Why are you doing this, Taylor? If this is a joke, it's not funny. Are you saying that you don't want to have a wedding? Like, you just want to elope or something? We can do that if that's what you really want, but I wish you would have told me that sooner.
It's not just about the wedding. Didn't you see my text? I said I don't want to get married to you.
What are you saying, Taylor?
I thought I was speaking plain English. Let me try again. I do not want to get married to you. Let's break up right now. I've thought about it and realized that there's another woman I want to marry more than you.
Another woman? Just what is that supposed to mean? And you want to call off our wedding now? Are you kidding me? The wedding is next month. You know that, right? We've already sent out invitations. We've made reservations, booked hotels, flights.
Yeah, and so what? That doesn't change a thing. There's someone out there who I like more than you, and there's nothing that you can do to change that. I'm breaking up with you so I can marry the woman I truly love. It's over between us, Alice.
I don't believe this. You told me that I looked beautiful while I was trying on those wedding dresses the other day. I saw the way you looked at me. Those were loving eyes. We've been talking forever about how excited we were about the wedding. We worked so hard planning it together. Are you telling me now that all of that was a lie and you never really wanted to marry me? What's going on, Taylor? Make it make sense.
I thought it was obvious that I was just saying that stuff to be polite. Like, really, Alice? How thick can you possibly be?
How can you talk like that to me after everything we've been through?
Oh, shut up. You want me to be really honest? The reason I said you looked good in those dresses was because I was imagining how good Mia would look in them. Don't you know the expression about putting lipstick on a pig? All the dresses and makeup in the world couldn't make you attractive.
Why are you bringing my little sister into this? I mean, sure, I can admit that most guys would say that she's prettier than me, but she has nothing to do with this. Leave her out of it, okay? This is only about you and me.
Oh, you think Mia isn't involved? You really are dense. Who do you think I want to get married to, Alice? It's Mia! Mia's the girl I want.
What? Wait, what? Taylor, you want to marry my little sister Mia?
I want Mia like I've never wanted any other woman in my life. She's the perfect woman. And what's more, she loves me back. I'm the luckiest man in the world. That's why I want to get rid of you as quickly as possible so I can finally be together with her.
Wait, she loves you back? Mia loves you back? No, please, Taylor, don't tell me the two of you have been seeing each other behind my back. Please tell me that this is all just a one-sided attraction, please.
I don't doubt that you'd like me to tell you that, but it's the truth. We've been seeing each other for a long time now. As a matter of fact, would you like to take a guess at who's sitting next to me at this very moment, holding me tightly as I'm writing this?
Oh my God, no.
Looks like you guessed right. Man, to think you had a hottie like Mia for a sister. I can't believe you're even related. I remember the first time you took me to meet your parents, and I saw Mia sitting on the living room couch. She looked so gorgeous in that white spaghetti strap top she had on. I fell in love with her right then and there. And then when I told her how I felt and asked her out, she said yes without a moment's hesitation.
No, this can't be happening. You were seeing my sister while you were engaged to me? I can't handle this.
Hey, in my defense, I didn't think she was your sister at first. I thought she was maybe a cousin or a neighbor or something. You two look way too different to be sisters. I mean, what's up with your family? Seriously, there's no one else as ugly as you are. Your dad's handsome, your mom's pretty, and your little sister is a real hottie. Were you adopted or something? It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, excuse me for not hitting the genetic lottery, Taylor. When you proposed to me, I was so happy. I was happier than I ever thought I could be. My whole life, I'd been comparing myself to my sister, and I never thought there would be any man who would pick me over her. But you did, Taylor. You picked me. And now you've betrayed me.
Yeah, if you're gonna get all emotional, do it later, okay? All that matters right now is we're breaking up and I'm marrying Mia. Got that? Make sure you cancel all our reservations tomorrow.
I hope you're proud of yourself, Mia. Thanks to you, my wedding is now off. You stole my fiancé. How could you do this to me? What is wrong with you? Uh-oh, looks like the cat's out of the bag. And don't get mad at me like that. Taylor's the one who came on to me so strongly. He kept begging me to go out with him, so I don't know, I said yes. You think this is funny, do you? Honestly, kinda, yeah. Oh, and just one more point in my defense, I didn't say yes at first. It's just that he was so persistent, I eventually broke down. He wanted me so bad, so I figured, why not? I'll give him a shot and see if he's any good. So, yeah, we started dating. And you didn't have any moral qualms about that? You know, you didn't think that maybe it was wrong to sleep with your sister's fiancé? Did you ever think of me or my feelings even once? Hey, come on, Alice. It's not like this is totally my fault. It's your fault for not being able to keep your man interested in you. If he was unfaithful, it's obviously because he wasn't getting everything he needed from you. You're a piece of work, Mia. You're telling me it's my fault he cheated on me? Yeah, duh, obviously. I mean, I don't see how a man could be with you and not cheat. Have you looked in the mirror lately? Excuse me? You're ugly. Your legs are short and stumpy, you're pudgy around the waist, and you've got an awful unibrow. How could you expect to keep a man being as ugly as you are? There's not a man in the world who would pick you over me. You're the worst, Mia. Not only do you not have the slightest bit of remorse for what you did to me, you're insulting me on top of that. Well, it's whatever. Go ahead and have, Taylor. I don't need any man who would betray me like that. I wouldn't count on receiving many well wishes at your wedding, though. Mom and Dad are going to be furious when they find out about this. They're not going to give you 1 cent towards your wedding. I wouldn't be so sure about that if I were you. I think they'll be pretty happy, actually, once they hear that they're finally going to have their first grandchild. Grandchild? No. You're pregnant? I am indeed. Mom and Dad will probably be a little surprised at first, but remember, this is my baby we're talking about. Whether it's a boy or a girl, my baby's gonna be the cutest little angel they've ever seen. Other than me, of course. I think they'll come around and accept our relationship once they see their grandchild's adorable face. Just when I think you couldn't be any worse, not only have you stolen my fiancé, you're pregnant with his child. Yep, and guess what? That means you're gonna be an aunt. Be sure to buy us a good gift for our baby shower. You managed to get a pretty good job at a big company despite being ugly as sin, so you'll have no problem buying something high-end. Oh, and be sure to bring your wallet to our wedding, too.
Yo, Alice, you got our wedding invitation, right? We went out of our way to invite you, so you'd better come. Got it?
I'm afraid I won't be in attendance, Taylor.
Huh? Why not?
Why do you think, you moron? You've got some nerve sending me a wedding invitation after cheating on me like you did.
Oh, grow up, would you? Seriously, you're acting like a spoiled little brat. She's your family, Alice. This is your little sister's wedding. You're not gonna go to your only sister's wedding? What kind of cold-hearted, bitter, jealous person refuses to go to their own sister's wedding? I expected better from you, Alice. I'm really, really disappointed.
My sister? Who are you talking about? I don't have any sister. Were you maybe referring to that awful, vile, home-wrecking slut who stole my fiancé from me and even got knocked up by him for good measure? If that's the person you're referring to, then you're sadly mistaken. She's not my sister. Not anymore.
Oh, someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Or maybe it's just that time of the month. Oh, be careful, Alice. You're already ugly enough when you're not angry. Imagine how ugly you look right now.
Excuse me?
Look, I get it. You're jealous of your sister because she's prettier than you. But no matter what you do or say, I'm not gonna get back together with you. So give up on me, okay? You can hate your sister all you want, but it's not gonna help you. Mia is the only girl in the world for me right now. And there's no woman, least of all you, who could take me away from her.
Get over yourself, you narcissistic lecher. I don't have any feelings left for you.
Sure you don't, sure. Whatever you say. Tell you what, if it'll make you feel better, how about you and me getting together every once in a while for a little afternoon delight while Mia's pregnant?
What?
With Mia being pregnant and all, we just can't have as much fun as we usually do, get it? She needs a break and I need an outlet, so what's the issue? It's not like you've got any other guys on the hook.
You really are the worst man I've ever met. I'm at a loss for words.
Hey, at least I'm not as bad as someone who's gonna skip her own sister's wedding. I don't want to hear any moralistic nonsense from someone who's having a hissy fit over something as trivial as breaking up with her boyfriend. You're her sister. You have a responsibility to be there for Mia on the happiest day of her life.
I thought I made it clear that I don't have a sister.
Huh?
Mia's been excommunicated by the family. She's not my sister, she's not my family, she isn't anything to me anymore. Were you not paying attention when I told you that earlier? There is absolutely nothing connecting the two of us anymore, so I'm not under any obligation to go to her wedding.
Wait, what did you mean just now? You said she was excommunicated by the family? What? I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I don't imagine that would be a very pleasant topic for Mia to breach with you. She was so confident that Mom and Dad would be thrilled to hear about the good news, but they were actually enraged to a point I've never seen from them before. I totally understand why she would keep that a secret from her fiancé.
No way. You mean your parents don't support our marriage? I don't get it. They're gonna have a grandchild. They should be thrilled. Isn't that every parent's dream, to meet their grandchildren?
Yeah, Mia seemed real confident and pleased with herself when she dropped that bomb on my parents, but her expression sank real fast when she saw how red-faced and angry they were. You should have heard my dad. He told her, "We are never going to give our blessing to your relationship. You stole your sister's fiancé and got pregnant with his child. You're no longer welcome in this house or in our lives. Get out now."
Oh, come on, really? They got that mad about us being together? Seriously, what is wrong with your parents? They've got to be out of their minds.
Would you mind elaborating on that?
What more needs to be said? They should be more aware than anyone else that they have one daughter who's gorgeous and one who's horrendously ugly. Did they really think any sane man would pick you over Mia? Not to mention they're just going to abandon their own grandchild. It makes zero sense for them to take your side. If they knew what was best for them, they'd kick your ugly face out of the house, not Mia.
Could you be a bit more creative with your insults? Hearing ugly, ugly, ugly every sentence is getting old. Besides, ugly or not, I'm still their child. Their real child. In what universe would someone prioritize an adopted child over their own biological child?
Huh? Adopted? Wait.
My parents raised Mia and loved her like she was their own. But their adopted daughter did the lowest, cruelest, and most hurtful thing possible to their real daughter. I don't see any other way this could have ended but with her getting shown the door. She didn't just betray me, she betrayed the parents who took her in out of love and compassion.
Hold on. Back up. You're dropping a really big bomb on me right now, and it's pretty hard to take in. So, Mia was adopted?
You said it yourself, Taylor. Looking at us, you'd never guess that we were sisters, and, well, there's a very good reason for that. We're not sisters, not biologically anyway. Mia isn't my parents' daughter. She was adopted.
Oh, okay, now I get it. I mean, what? She was adopted? I had no idea. She never told me.
Although she is technically related to us, but only barely. The truth is, Mia was the love child of one of my dad's relatives. That relative died in a sudden accident, and we only ever learned about Mia's existence after that. It sent the family into total chaos. Not only did they have to deal with the death of a relative, they had to deal with the aftermath of his infidelity. They had a long series of discussions about whether one of them would take her in or would they just put her in an orphanage. My dad's conscience wouldn't let them just throw her away like that, so he said that he would adopt her and raise her as his own.
No way! But Mia looks exactly like your parents. There's no way she was adopted. Both of your parents are attractive people. Your family clearly has good genes. The only one who looks out of place is you. You must be the one that's adopted.
Don't take my word for it. My relatives all say that I look just like my mom when she was younger. I'd say I look like my dad, too, if you ask me.
BS, you're lying.
Back when they were kids, both my mom and my dad were actually kind of short and chubby. They hit their growth spurts during puberty, and then everything kind of evened out.
Really? I find that kind of hard to believe.
Ever since they first took her in, my parents loved Mia just as much as they loved me. They didn't play favorites or anything. I never thought of Mia as anything but my beloved younger sister. But now, Mia betrayed me in the most viciously evil way I could think of. And not just me, in doing so, she also betrayed my parents in a big way. I'll never forget the tears in my mom's eyes when she looked at Mia and told her, "I will never call you my daughter ever again as long as I live." It was one of the most heartbreaking things I'd ever seen.
This can't be happening. I was so sure that your parents would support us being together. I thought they'd be ecstatic to learn that Mia was pregnant with their grandchild. I never thought things would turn out this way.
Speaking of that grandchild, my parents also were very clear that they never want to meet the baby or have any part in the baby's life. So, looks like you're gonna have to step up, Daddy. You had better work hard to get a promotion at work, because you're the only person in the world who Mia and the baby can count on to support them.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and I know you already sent all your invitations out, so I hate to tell you this after the fact, but don't count on anyone in the family coming. And no, I'm not just talking about my parents. I mean my aunts, uncles, cousins, etc. Hope you can fill all the seats with your side of the family, or else it's gonna be a pretty empty venue.
This isn't fair. Why am I the one getting kicked out of the family? I'm prettier than you. I'm younger than you. I have everything they could want in a daughter. They should be kissing the ground I walk on for giving them a grandchild.
You really still don't get it? They did love you. They were proud of you. You were every bit their daughter as I was. And then you went and betrayed us all. How do you think that made them feel?
Shut up, Alice. If they really loved me, then they should see me as completely equal to you. But if they're kicking me out, not you, then what does that mean? It means they still see me as just a girl they adopted who they can throw away whenever they feel like it. Why would they stick up for you when they have a daughter like me? I don't get it. It's not fair.
Mia, you're pregnant, aren't you? You have a baby, a precious human life inside of you this very moment. I think it should be pretty easy for you to understand how my parents feel considering that.
What do you mean?
Mothers go through morning sickness, they gain weight, they practically offer up their bodies as human sacrifices to help their babies grow bigger and stronger. And finally, they go through indescribable pain to bring them into the world. Even if I'm not a knockout beauty like you, even if I haven't given them a grandchild like you, there's nothing in this world that could bring my parents to toss the child they gave life to into the garbage and replace me with someone else. Let me put it to you this way. If your baby is ugly, will you put them up for adoption?
Well, of course not. I could never do such a thing.
And there it is. Do you get it now? Seriously, how did you ever think you could get my parents to take your side against me? Seriously, Mia, you're such an idiot.
But it's still not fair. I'm the beautiful one. You could ask anyone in the entire world which of us is prettier, and they'd say it was me every single time. Our neighbors always told me how beautiful I was ever since I started living with you guys. Mom and Dad have every reason to take my side against you. I was sure that this was my chance to have them all to myself, to be their one and only true daughter.
Wait, what?
I was always superior to you in every single way, except for one. You were their real daughter and I wasn't. That's why I stole Taylor from you, to show them how superior I was. What kind of pathetic loser gets their fiancé stolen by their younger sister? They should be embarrassed to call you their daughter. I thought that once I showed them what you really were, they'd abandon you. Then I could be their one and only daughter, their real daughter, the one they really love.
Mia, is that really what this was all about? You were just trying to be my parents' favorite? You did all of this in hopes of getting me cut off from the family so you could have them all to yourself?
That's exactly why I did it. I had to do it. I had no other choice. If I could just get married before you did and give them a grandchild before you did, then I was sure to become their favorite daughter. Then they'd choose me, their adopted daughter, over you, their real daughter. And you wouldn't be their real daughter anymore. I would be their real daughter.
Oh no, you poor thing. You didn't need to do any of that. Mom and Dad always thought of you as their real daughter. It didn't matter that I was their biological daughter and you weren't. They loved us both just the same. I wasn't their number one. Both of us were.
You can't have two number ones. There can only be one number one, and it had to be me.
Mia.
That's why I worked so hard from the time I was a little girl to make everything about myself as perfect as possible. I had to be prettier, smarter, stronger, better in every way I possibly could be in order to prove myself to them. But you didn't deserve anything from them. The only reason they ever had to love you was the fact that you were their biological daughter. You weren't pretty. You weren't any of the things I was.
This is just sad, Mia.
I wanted to get you out of the house and out of my way as quickly as possible. All I wanted was to have their love all for myself. That's all I wanted. Was that so much to ask? But now look at what's happened. I don't get it. Why? Why, Alice? Why?
This all happened as a direct result of your actions, Mia. I understand it must have been difficult for you growing up as an adopted child alongside me, but Mom and Dad would never have wanted you to do something like this. All they wanted was for us to stay together as a family forever. I wish there was some way I could make you understand.
Shut up! I don't need your lectures. You don't know anything about Mom and Dad. I do. I had to know everything about them. I had to make them love me. I earned their love.
And you had it.
I never saw you as my sister. All you were was fat, ugly, stupid, dead weight. You don't deserve to be my sister. You let me steal your fiancé away from you. I won, you lost. It doesn't matter if Mom and Dad chose you over me. I still beat you, and nothing you do can ever change that.
You're right, Mia. You're completely right. I was betrayed by the person who I had loved for as long as I can remember as my little sister. You beat me. I'm a loser. But there are plenty of other men out there. The next time I give my heart to a man, he's not going to be a lying, cheating jerk. Parents, however, are in much shorter supply. And the only parents you've ever known just abandoned you. If I'm a loser, what does that make you?
Don't compare me to you. I am nothing like you.
Someday I'm sure you'll come to understand what a massive mistake you've made. You threw away something that you can never, ever get back, and when that reality sets in, well, you're gonna be in for a hard time. It's far too late for you to regret what you've done and make amends. Mom and Dad have already blocked your number. They never want to speak to you again.
No, they can't do that. I'm their daughter. It's never too late. I'll go and apologize to them once they've cooled their heads. It'll all be okay. It has to be okay.
Sorry, Mia, but some things can't be undone and some words can't be unsaid. I hope you and Taylor can find some semblance of happiness together. And remember, now Taylor and that baby are the only family you have in the world. I hope you treat your new family better than you treated your last one. Mia and Taylor had their wedding as scheduled, but just as I predicted, not one person Mia invited came. None of her friends and none of her now former family. And what's worse, not even Taylor's family and friends came to celebrate with them. Taylor knew this would happen when every single person RSVP'd saying they weren't gonna come. He tried to salvage it somehow by going directly to people and begging them to come, but it was no use. It seems none of them were interested in celebrating the wedding between a cheating man and a backstabbing sister. They ended up getting no presents from anyone and still having to foot the bill for the venue, dress, tuxedo, and reception all by themselves. The baby was born healthy and strong sometime after that, but just like with their wedding, they didn't get any gifts or even congratulations from any of their friends or family. So Taylor's now working double shifts at his job to work off the costs of their wedding and raising their baby, and Mia's left all day trying to figure out how to take care of a baby with no advice from her mother or other older relatives. She's now just a shadow of her old self, and all the beauty that she had once staked her pride on is a thing of the past. I only wish she could have learned her lesson before it was too late.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey Lisa, wake up right now. I have to talk to you about something really, really important.
Nick, it's 3 in the morning. What are you doing trying to call me on the phone right now?
It's because I have something huge that we need to talk about right this instant. You know how you met my friend yesterday?
Oh, are you talking about Emily? Yeah, you invited her out to eat lunch with us yesterday. What about her?
Well, the thing is that after you broke off, Emily and I ended up hanging out for a bit afterward. And anyways, she gave me her final score on you.
Her final score? What is that supposed to mean? And I didn't know that the two of you were still hanging out after that. I thought that we all went our separate ways after we had lunch. I mean, you dropped me off at home, and I thought that you went back home as well.
Well, yeah, I dropped you off, but then I met back up with Emily afterward. She wanted to tell me about the final score that she gave you. She was watching you to see if you were going to be a good fit for me to marry.
Sorry, so you're telling me that that whole time we were having lunch, your friend was secretly judging and grading me?
You do realize that we just celebrated our 10th anniversary as boyfriend and girlfriend, right? And don't you think it's about time that you and I finally got married? Of course, I realized this would be a really big decision for the both of us, so I asked my friend to try and give me an unbiased third-person perspective on you.
So if I understand this, you're telling me that the whole reason you invited your friend and introduced her to me was so that you could have her rate me? Then again, I did think it was really weird that you were even introducing me to one of your friends in the first place, since I haven't really met any.
But Emily is a really, really good friend of mine, and we've known each other since we were in elementary school. So that's why I wanted her to administer the final test to you.
Well, okay, I guess that sort of makes sense. How did I do then? Did I pass in Emily's eyes?
No, Lisa. I'm afraid you didn't pass at all, actually. And that's why I think that you and I should break up.
Wait, what? You're telling me that Emily told you that you and I shouldn't get married?
That's right. She was very honest about her opinion, and she said that you just wouldn't be a good fit for me. She told me that I would be better off looking for a better woman than you. So, I'm sorry, but that's why you and I have to break up now. I realize now how much better I could be doing.
But, hold on. You mean that you're really going to break up with me because a friend told you to? We've been together for a whole decade. You can't just subject me to some test I don't even know about and decide to end it all because I didn't pass it.
No, this isn't just some arbitrary thing I was putting you through. Surely you can understand how well a friend I've known as long as Emily would serve as a judge of character for me and anyone I was dating. I trust her to know who would and wouldn't be a good fit for me, so I take her advice very seriously.
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, I only met her once. How can she pretend to know me after such a short interaction? I'm sorry, but I think it's just absurd for you and I to break up over something silly like this.
Lisa, you really don't know Emily like I do. She's a really sharp girl, and she knows these kind of things better than anyone else I know of. You didn't offer to get us water when we all sat down. You didn't offer Emily a bite of your food to try. You just weren't being charming at all, and Emily saw right through that.
What? Are you really telling me that that's what I got failed for?
It may not be enough for you, but I was more than convinced by Emily's assessment of you. So I just really don't think that I can see a future with you now. Instead, I'm going to take Emily's advice to me and break up with you before we get any deeper into this.
I don't believe this. You're really just going to throw away 10 years of dating me because of what one friend tells you? This is insane. Why didn't you stick up for me at all?
What should I have told her that she wouldn't have already seen? Besides, Emily is one of my best friends, and I know that she's going to know what's best for me. Maybe even more so than I would myself. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go against what Emily says when I know how good her intuition is.
So then you're really going to go through with this? Even though we've been dating for 10 years? Even though we were talking about getting married?
I'm really sorry about this, Lisa, but after hearing what Emily had to say about you, I realized that I can't marry you the way you are now. You got a long way to go before I could even think of marrying you now.
Hey there, Lisa. I was watching that whole conversation between you and Nick just now. It must really suck to be broken up with by your boyfriend so early in the morning, right? Wait, what? What do you mean? Are you saying that you were with Nick when he was texting me? I'm just saying that I'm so sorry that it seems your boyfriend broke up with you because of what I had to say to him. I was only giving him my personal opinion on the matter. So I hope you can see that it's really not my fault that he chose to listen to me, right? But he said that if I didn't think you were good enough for him, then you must really not be good enough for him. You didn't answer my question, though. Are you there with Nick right now? You've been watching our text conversation this whole time? That's right. We had so much fun after lunch and ended up hanging out all night. In the end, he missed the last train back home and had to sleep at my place. After all, he was in no place to drive by the time we finally were ready to call it a night. I don't even know what to say to any of this right now. Are you telling me that my boyfriend spent the night at another woman's house, only to text me early the next morning and tell me that he was breaking up with me? That's right, but don't let this get you down. I'm sure you'll find a man that you're more suited to be with. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Although it is so sad that this means the end for your 10-year-long relationship with Nick. But I'm sure that someone just like Nick will come along for you at some point in the future. You just wait and don't give up hope. I don't need any comforting words from you, thank you very much. If anything, you're going to be the one who needs good luck. And just why should I have anything to worry about in any of this right now? Come on, you don't see how obvious it is that you two should be together? I mean, Nick may have cut me off, but you two have been friends even longer than we were dating. I think that if anything, you should probably just date Nick. Even if all you'd be doing otherwise is making him break up with his girlfriend. Oh, I see what you're trying to get at with all of this. Let me tell you that you don't have to worry about a single thing when it comes to that. I don't think I'll have to rate any more girls after you. And just what is that supposed to mean then, huh? Well, it's because I'm already taking your advice, and Nick and I are, in fact, already dating each other. So I'll never have to save him from a girl like you again. Wow. You're kidding me, right? Are you two actually going out so soon after breaking up with me? That's right. I mean, it's like Nick said, there isn't another girl in the world who knows him as well as I do. And after all this time has passed, it's clear to him that he and I are meant to be together. I think it's kind of funny the way he just perfectly transferred from you to me, but it really does make sense when you think about it. I don't think this is funny at all. You used your position as his friend to get yourself into a place where you could keep other women from him. I bet you were trying to find a way to date him this whole time, but that doesn't make you a good friend. You were just manipulating him. You really think that I won't be able to make Nick as much, if not more, happy than you were able to make him? I think the two of you are more suited for each other than you realize. Now, goodbye.
Lisa, it's been so long since you and I have last talked. How have you been? You doing well?
Nick, what are you doing texting me? What do you want? What is this about?
Well, I was just thinking that you and I are getting pretty up there in age now, and, well, I was wondering if you'd like to marry me.
Excuse me? You're really asking me if I would like to marry you?
I mean, you're almost in your 40s now, aren't you? So am I, and I'm still single, so why don't you and I get married?
Now hold on just a moment. I thought that you and Emily were dating each other this whole time. What happened to that? Did you two break up? Is that why you're running straight back to me? Ugh, this has got to be a joke.
Don't even say her name around me. I broke up with that other woman. She got pregnant and then kept bugging me about getting married. But then it turned out that the kid she was having wasn't even mine, so we broke up because she cheated on me.
You're kidding me. That's really how you two ended up splitting up?
That's right. It was actually the other guy who reached out and told me about the whole thing. But I did my research and found out that the kid really wasn't mine. But I still couldn't believe it. It was just such a shock.
Yeah, well, if you two were talking about getting married, I can see how hearing something like that would ruin just about everything.
But she was my friend for so long. Maybe even my best friend, and she betrayed me like that. I still can't believe that it's happened even now. But then I remembered you. Then I remembered that I was single again, so I figured now that Emily and I are through, you and I could get married.
And that's why you chose to reach out to me like this then? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, we were dating for 10 years and you never once lied to me. You're always so kind and sweet, and you took care of me too. It's clear that you were, and still are, the only girl for me.
Give me a break. You've got some nerve talking to me after 3 years and trying to flirt like this. Honestly, even reading these messages is enough to piss me off. You're only coming back to me because you got broken up with.
Well, yeah, that's true. But isn't this the perfect chance for you and I to get back together? I seriously doubt you have that many suitors at your age. Are you really going to tell me that you'd rather be single and old than be with a catch like me? I thought you'd be just a little more excited to hear from me after all this time.
You did not actually just type that message and send it to me, did you?
Oh, come on, Lisa. Can't we just calm down and talk about this rationally? Do you really think you'll be able to find another man who wants to marry you at this age? It's not like you'd even be able to give a husband to yours kids or anything at this point.
Oh, I'm sure you are doing all of this because of how concerned you are about my prospects.
Just saying that I'm here as a choice for you, and I think a very good one at that. Don't you remember how good it was when we were together? We can have that again. We can still even have kids if we hurry. Let's just think of the past 3 years as a short break. It's nothing compared to the decade that we spent together.
I will have you know that I already have a husband and children. Thank you very much.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that?
I mean that I want you to stop all of this nonsense right now. Did you really think there was even a chance that you and I would end up together? You're acting as if I'm delusional when you're the one hitting up old flames because you're so desperate at your age. But good luck finding someone who'll marry you and have kids with you now.
Wait, hold on a second. What do you mean that you're married and have kids? I mean, I thought that you were single. How do you have a family?
Are you stupid? I mean, was that a real question? I don't even know what to say. You literally answered it for yourself. I got married, and then I started a family. It's how the whole thing works.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that you got remarried. You actually managed to find a man willing to marry a woman like you. But how could you do that without asking me first?
Why in the world would I need your permission to marry someone after we broke up? Besides, I started dating my husband a year after you left me. We got married a year later and then we had our first child not long after.
This can't be happening. You're supposed to be mine. All mine. But then you go and get married and have a child with some other man.
Nick, seriously, what are you even talking about? You and I broke up 3 years ago. You have no say at all with what I can and can't do in my life.
But look, I know that Emily said that you and I weren't meant to be together, but I never actually wanted to break up with you. Besides, what's the deal with you moving on and getting married and having kids so quickly after we broke up? Don't you think you moved on way too fast after a 10-year relationship?
Who do you think you are telling me that? You were the one who slept with your best friend and texted me that we were breaking up the next day.
You can't compare the two. They're completely different.
Whatever, I really don't have time for this nonsense. Have a nice life, Nick.
Wait, no, you can't just go. Please. Emily betrayed me, and now you're the only person that I can turn to. What am I supposed to do?
I don't know. Why don't you go and make up with your so-called best friend and leave me alone, huh? I have to take care of my baby.
You're horrible. How could you cheat on me like this? How could you have another man's baby and still want to raise it?
Maybe because it's the child of me and my husband, and as her mother, that's what I'm supposed to do. You really need to get a life and stop chasing after what you had in the past. We are over, and that's final.
Lisa, thank you so much for the other day. Thanks to what you said, I was able to patch things up with Nick, and he and I decided to get married again. I'm going to be the best wife I can and give him a lovely family.
Wow, so you two really talked things over and decided to get back together?
That's right. He said that you really put his feet to the fire and made him think about a lot of things. He said that he realized it was his fault for pushing me into the arms of another man. And he also took responsibility for me having another man's baby as well. I don't know what you said to him, but thank you so much for convincing him to get back with me.
I really didn't do anything for you or him, but whatever. I hope that you two get it right this time.
It's just that here I thought you were so mad at the two of us for what happened in the past, but now I see what kind of person you really are. And I hear that you're a mother now, too. That really is amazing. I'm still pregnant with mine, but I'm going to come to you for lots of advice on what I can do. And if you want to give me a bunch of old baby things that you have, like toys and clothes, that would really be great.
Hold on a second. Let me make something clear for you, Emily. I do hate you and Nick very much. I don't want to be friends, and I didn't talk to Nick with the intention of saving your marriage. So I'm not going to give you advice or free anything. Do you understand?
Lisa, come on. What way is that to act towards another young mother? Don't you see we have so much in common now? Maybe we could do a double date one day, and you could introduce us to your husband, and then our families can be good friends. I mean, I'd just love to meet whatever loser actually decided to marry you.
Ah, that's what I was waiting for. You should know that my husband is actually a supervisor at your company. I take it you know a Mr. Brown, right?
Hold on a second. You're telling me that you're married to Corey Brown?
That's right. And he's always complaining to me about being harassed by the woman at his workplace. I asked him a bit about it once, and he mentioned your name. Sometimes the world really is too small, but anyways, you should know you're already on thin ice with him.
You're kidding me, but I hardly even do anything. It's not my fault I have such strong, womanly charms.
By the way, I assume you've hidden all this from Nick, but I've heard from Corey, who heard through the office grapevine, that your baby's dad is a married man from your office. Corey normally wouldn't care at all about that kind of thing happening in the office since he doesn't like drama, but he couldn't abide it after he caught you two intimately using some office space.
You mean that your husband actually saw us doing it at work?
That's right. So I guess if you really want to have that double date, we could, but just know that my husband is pretty weak when it comes to drinking and loves to gossip after a couple pints.
What? No, forget it. You two keep far away from the two of us, and whatever you do, don't tell Nick about this.
Here I thought I was going to marry Emily, and now I'm being sued instead. Where did my life go wrong?
Not that I care about your question, but what do you mean you're being sued?
I finally figured out who the father of Emily's baby is. It's a married man she works with. I found out because the guy's wife showed up at our house and said she was going to be suing Emily for the affair. But Emily doesn't have any money, so she's asking me to pay all $30,000 that this guy's wife is demanding from us.
Well, you did agree to close your eyes to the fact of Emily's affair and pregnancy, so I suppose you'll have to pay for this.
But I didn't do anything. I'm the victim here. Besides, I didn't know she was sleeping with married guys. He should be paying us child support. But he said that since Emily never told him about it, that he won't have to.
You know, I feel the worst for this poor kid Emily's going to have.
Well, you should feel bad for me. But please, look, you have to get back together with me. Trying to fix things with Emily was a huge mistake.
This has got to be a joke. You did not reach out to me to try and get back together. I don't know why I expected anything different from you. You all got yourselves into this mess, and I refuse to be dragged down to your level. Now, for the last time, leave me alone. After that, I hear that Nick and Emily stayed together and even went through with the marriage and had Emily's child. I also heard that they tried to hide the baby from their parents who were begging for a grandchild. Meanwhile, Nick had to pay for Emily's lawsuit and lost $30,000 for it. They couldn't keep the child a secret forever, and before long, Nick had to beg to his parents for help taking care of it. In the end, Emily and Nick had to move in with his parents in order to get the help they were asking for. I haven't heard a word about or from either of them since then.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.